Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name's Heather. If you're new, thanks for stopping by. Today we're going to be talking about a keto diet versus the new Weight Watchers diet and my experience trying both of them for an extended period of time. And I will give you the pros, the cons, the good, the bad, the ugly, all of that. So if you're interested in a comparison between those two, stay tuned and let's do this. Okay, if you have been with me for any length of time, you will notice that 95% of the recipes that I post are low carb / keto based recipes. And that is because for years, I have done a low carb or keto diet. I would say that I'm more on the dirty, lazy keto side, meaning I'm not tracking every single macro down to the decimal. I am just going low carb and trying to stay within the keto kind of mentality. Keto is a big buzzword now, and it does have some differences between just a basic low carb diet with regard to your protein fat ratios, but both diets promote a very low carbohydrate diet, high in the carbohydrates that are like vegetables that are non-starchy, things like that. So I have done that for probably off and on, mostly on for about 4 years, and it totally worked. I got down to 115 pounds. I maintained it. I did not have any inflammation, arthritis feelings, bloating, none of that kind of stuff. Really, really great. But towards the end of last year, I had a friend ask me if they would mind if I did Weight Watchers with them to check it out and to have some accountability and do it together, that kind of thing. So I thought, well, it's almost the polar opposite, it seems like, to a keto diet, but I'll do it as an experiment for several months and see how it compares. Do I maintain my weight? Do I lose weight? Because over Christmas, okay, so my daughter got married in November, and then I kind of just went off the rails because I had been so strict and so good and exercising and keto that I had, gotten down to my goal weight, maintained, really fit, and then the holidays hit right after that, and I didn't fall off the wagon. I did a swan dive off the wagon, and then I burned the wagon behind me. So I gained about 6 or 7 pounds over the holidays, and so I needed to get back up again. And so I thought, well, we'll try something new since I'm already off keto, and we'll see if Weight Watchers works. Now, I'm not going to go through the whole thing about Weight Watchers. They have 3 different plans: purple, blue, green. It just depends on your lifestyle and what you like to do, eat out, eat in, that kind of thing, which plan is best for you. I chose the green plan because it's the most restrictive in the sense of your free foods are at a minimum. So you get a higher point value, but not that much higher. And I prefer having everything count. So you do get free fruits and free vegetables that are non-starchy, and you can eat kind of as many of those as you want throughout the day, but I would highly caution against that because if you're eating a ton of fruit, especially like bananas and pineapple and stuff, that's a lot of calories. So I still think you need to take those free foods and really monitor those. Unless you're eating a whole bunch of fresh spinach, I think you need to be careful the amount of fruit, especially, that you are eating. But that's just my personal opinion. So the Weight Watchers was, I got 30 points and that's the minimum amount of points because I didn't have that much to lose. I was trying to lose 6 pounds, and I had fruits and vegetables free. So I tried that, and basically I figured out that the calories I was eating was roughly 1,200 calories a day, and then a couple pieces of fruit on top of that. So it's a pretty restrictive calorie diet when you do calculate your points. So here are my results after 3 months of doing Weight Watchers versus years of doing keto. When I'm on a keto diet, it is highly restrictive when you are going out. If you are invited to a friend's house and they have made a pasta dinner, you're screwed. I mean, it's really hard to go to someone else's home or to parties without bringing your own stuff with you, and then you feel a little awkward because you can't eat what they're making you, or you got to tell them in advance, hey, I don't eat pasta or whatever. So that is harder. I did find that most restaurants were keto friendly enough to where I could find something to make. Again, Mexican restaurants, Italian restaurants are harder, but you can do them. I did find ways to do that, but I did find myself eating mostly salads at Italian restaurants and, you know, carne asada or fajita type stuff at a Mexican restaurant. You don't have a lot of options there. Everywhere else, I feel like I could pretty much find stuff. The way that I made a keto diet work is I researched, experiment on multiple ways of making all the foods that I love so that I could have variety. I think the biggest part of a keto diet that's hard is that there's very little variety unless you're very creative and you're willing to get your hands dirty in the kitchen. You cannot just go, I'm gonna eat meat, cheese, and eggs and almonds for the rest of my life. People will just die on that kind of a diet. There is very few people that really do okay with that. Most of us need the variety. We want to feel like we're eating lots of good, yummy stuff and not feel so restricted. And so you really have to put a huge amount of effort into making creative dishes, of which I have a ton of recipes on my YouTube channel. There is a playlist for that if you're interested in it. And I actually have made some pretty amazing stuff and was able to stick to it for like 4 years for the most part. I mean, I'd go off for maybe a few weeks and then come back on if it was, you know, a holiday or something. But for the most part, I maintained my weight, I felt good, and I made a lot of variety. That is the only way that that worked for me. But as a positive note, for weight purposes, I did lose all the weight that I wanted and maintained. I did at the end have to watch my calories because calories matter and you can't eat 5,000 calories a day of ribeye steak and lose weight. I mean, you can't. So I had to watch it, but not nearly as closely as I have to watch calories on Weight Watchers. I also had no inflammation issues with arthritis, bloating, gassy, aches and pains and all that. Didn't have any of that when I was on a keto diet. So really good for my body. Also my lab results, everybody's like freaking out over cholesterol. Everything I had was normal. Normal blood work on every level, from cholesterol to blood pressure to blood sugar levels, all of that totally normal. And I'm 45. So that is the pros of the keto diet and the cons of the keto diet. For the Weight Watchers, I was starving. Can I just say starving when I started on the Weight Watchers diet, because I had gone from probably 3,000 calories a day, maybe, to like 1,200. I mean, I was dying and I was consumed with what can I eat next? What are the points I can have? Because I would normally just, if I was hungry, go in and grab a cheese stick or some, you know, pepperoni or something like that. And I could not do that. And you can do it with fruit, but like I said, it just adds up, and fruit isn't all that filling. I'm allergic to bananas, so I couldn't eat that. But starving all the time when I first started, until I got really into it and started researching what are the things that are filling. And I actually went back to protein type bars, things that were low in sugar, high in protein, high in fiber, so that I could stay full, yet still had a lower calorie count. That is the way that I have made Weight Watchers work. I eat Built bars. I know some people hate those things. They are like candy bars. And on keto, people were like, it's not really keto. It's lower in carbs. It's not really keto. But on Weight Watcher diet, they're like my saving grace at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Built bars, love them. But the variety of what I could make was anything. And so I was able to adapt, again, try things out in the kitchen, make different things, and make that diet work for me as well. I lost all of my weight that I had wanted to in the 2.5 months, and it completely worked. Totally worked down to the weight that I want to be. However, arthritis has settled into my hands. It's definitely come back. The bloating and gassy stuff definitely came back. And I don't know if that was because my body was so used to not having it, and then I started having it, like milk and flour and whatever, bread, and my body didn't know what to do with it. And so it has been kind of a roller coaster ride with my body. I have not done lab work, so I can't tell you if my labs are okay, but I definitely have noticed some achiness and some bloating and that kind of thing not being on keto. So I would say my overall is, if you are just trying to lose weight and you don't have a lot of money and you want a ton of variety and you really don't want to have to, you want convenience foods, you don't want to really have to put a ton of effort in the kitchen, then I would say do Weight Watchers, because it's so huge. You can pretty much look up any restaurant. You can pretty much make anything work if you stay within your points. And they have revamped it to where your points, a point is not just a point. It used to be 1 point was 50 calories and you could eat 3 Twinkies, or you could eat that were worth 150 calories, let's say a piece. So now you're at 450 calories, or you can eat 450 calories of broccoli and you're still getting the same points. Well, it's not like that anymore. Now they're trying to retrain your mind to where you realize that a Twinkie is really not good for you. So the same calories in a Twinkie is gonna cost you almost double the amount of points of the same calories of broccoli. So it makes you choose better, because where a Twinkie might have used to be 3 points is now like 6, and it's just not worth it. You just think that's not worth it. I'd rather have a Built Bar for 3 and a huge plate of vegetables, and then I'm stuffed, right? So it is changing it to where your protein, your fiber, that kind of stuff, the amount of sugar in things, because sugar is definitely the enemy. So the Weight Watchers plan is better, I think, health-wise. Like I said, labs, I don't know. But if you're just trying to lose weight and you want convenience and you want something easy, do Weight Watchers. If you are concerned with diabetes, your blood sugar levels, inflammation, arthritis, bloating, that kind of stuff, and you're willing to put in the work to make recipes, to buy ingredients that aren't necessarily readily available, you might have to go to a Sprouts or a Whole Foods or a GNC or something to find these ingredients, although they are more readily available now. I think that you should check out a low carb or keto diet. My mom is diabetic, she does it, it works for her, and she has to take very little medication as a result of her diet. But she's determined, because she has this disease, this is what she's doing. So if you can do that and you want the health benefits of really feeling good, I think you should check out a low carb diet. But my opinion for weight loss, all diets work for weight loss if you stick to them, if you're determined, and if you're disciplined. All of them will work. If you're not, none of them will work. So I found that both work, but the big question is, which one will I do moving forward? Okay, so my answer is, in the foreseeable future, for a couple of reasons, I'm gonna stick with Weight Watchers. Probably 3 reasons. 1, I paid for 6 months and I got 3 more months left on my app. I'm not going to the meetings, I am just doing the app online, which is $20 right now. 2, with the current coronavirus thing going around and food not being super readily available because everybody's going insane, it's tougher to find meat, and there was no cream cheese, there was no chicken, it's really hard right now, and so I'm kind of just getting what I can get. And on Weight Watchers, I can still stay within the points even if it's ice cream, which I'm not buying, but you know what I mean. So I'm gonna stick with that as well. Also, I'm still doing it with my friend, and we're gonna stick it together and make this work for her, so committed to that as well. But I do love the low carb keto diet. I may go back to that at some point in the future, but for now, we're gonna try this Weight Watchers thing. And so if in the future you see me do some Weight Watchers type recipes, also leave me a comment if you want those kinds of recipes, Weight Watchers lower calorie type recipes that are good. I might be adding some of those to this YouTube channel as well. So I'll do a playlist of Weight Watchers and a playlist of keto, and you can pick your poison. Okay, so I hope you found this enjoyable and helpful. If you did, please share it with anybody who you think might benefit from this content. Give it a like, and be sure and subscribe and hit the bell so you're notified of videos that I post, which happens normally weekly, except I was stuck in Europe when the coronavirus hit. So stay tuned for that video, because I'm gonna share my experience trying to escape Europe and get home before the borders were closed. So anyway, that's coming next. Hope you found this helpful and you're having a great day at home. Get outside if you can. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next video. See ya.